Once upon a time, there was a little boy called Howard who loved writing stories.
Little Howard dreamed of being a writer, and so he sat and wrote every night. But everything he wrote was fucking shite, yeah. Wubba-dubba-doo, wubba-dubba-doo. Worst writer in the world, worst writer in the world, worst writer in the world, worst writer in the world. He's a stupid, suck-ass, rubbish writer.
Welcome to the worst writer in the world, and finally it's time to get back to George Spooner and the woman who loved a horse. Now, where we left them some time ago now, several months ago, George was on the run from the police. Can you tell us why, Howard?
He's been, as far as we're aware, wrongly accused of murder.
Yeah, because someone wearing his clothes got murdered?
Yes, a tramp wearing his clothes got murdered, but then a lady got murdered. And he thought that it was the woman who loved a horse. But it
Mary
wasn't.
Darling.
It wasn't
Yeah.
Mary Darling. It was his friend Jennifer.
I don't think her name
Hudson?
was Jennifer, no. Amelia Hudson.
Amelia Hudson, yeah. Jennifer Hudson's like a Hollywood actress, right?
She, as far as we know, she has not been murdered by George Spooner or anyone else. But the reason the police think he did it is because just before she got murdered, he was in a restaurant yelling about murdering her.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And he has met up with a guy called Redvers,
Ooh.
who owns an aeroplane that is big enough to put a horse on.
Yeah.
Because Redvers is going to fly them to England. George and Daisy, the nurse he's picked up, and the horse, right?
Yeah.
But why do they need to get the horse to England? What's the deal there? Or are they just partly just trying to escape the police? They're really obsessed with this horse, right? They're really trying to get this horse to
Right,
England.
yeah.
Why are they doing that,
I honestly can't remember. I've not read it or listened to half of it either, for that matter now, so I don't remember what's going on with her.
And for some reason, it's very important to George. Maybe it's because of Mary Darling, because she loves the horse and he knows it, and so he's trying to get it back to a house that isn't hers, but she's somehow associated with, right? That's the deal. Anyway, for whatever reason, write in and let us know what the reason is if you know what it is.
Why don't you just say for very good reasons?
For very good reasons.
Yes.
George, Daisy, the nurse he picked up in hospital, are trying to get the horse, who is called Bitty, which is short for a bit on the side. They're trying to get it back to Britain, and Redvers owns a plane and is going to help them. Right, that's the situation we find ourselves in. And they're all on their way to the plane, which is parked on the River Seine in Paris. Right. So they're all trying to get there, but they're not together at the moment. George is with Redvers.
I mean, I imagine that there is a good reason, but I couldn't for the life of me suggest what it might be.
For whatever it may be, that's what's going on. So shall we get back to the plot and find out what's happening with George and Redvers?
Yes, please.
I awoke with a start, having kicked a table and knocked a half glass of wine in my face. The candle at our table had almost burned itself out, and there was a deathly silence in the place. Daisy was already awake and watching me. There was no sign of Redvers or the snoring chap. Looking at my watch, I saw only a few hours had passed. Did you have a bad dream? Well, it didn't end well for me, but as dreams go, it was really rather vivid and quite fascinating. So I'd be loath to lumber it with the label bad. But yes, it was certainly quite terrifying, although I'd love to hear what Dr. Freud would make of it. Was I in it? Briefly, everybody kept changing. Even Shady Henri made an appearance. What did you say? Came a voice, coughing from the darkness. Redvers appeared then, chugging on his pipe, his medals jangling as he limped into view, the medals he gave himself. What did you say? I had a dream. Did you say Shady Henri? Yes, he was in my dream, counting money. How do you bloody know him? He is the man that brought us to you. Fucking hell. Redvers took a particularly long pull on his pipe. Then, blowing rings, he said sternly, It's time to go. But it's still daytime. They don't call him Shady Henri for nothing, my friend. If he finds out who you are, he'll be selling you straight down the river to the bobbies. And I took a walk earlier, and they got posters of you up already. So, if he ain't realised yet, rest assured he will do pretty soon. So come on, move your Harris, we're going now. But we still need to arrange transport for the horse, said Daisy. It's all right, I can fit him in. I resisted telling Daisy I told you so, but I could tell she knew I was thinking it, because she screwed up her nose and pulled a face at me. Since we had nothing to pack or carry, we moved immediately, heading outside into the muggy street, where Bitty was still blindfolded and tethered to a railing. No sooner were we out the door, I spotted the gendarme far down the narrow alleyway, heading single file towards us. Think we'd best go the other way, I said, as calmly as I could muster, and the others, seeing what I had seen, mumbled a hearty agreement, and we hurried away as quickly as we possibly could without drawing attention to ourselves. At least, that was the plan. Unfortunately, Bitty had other ideas. Also, I mean, the police are looking for someone with a horse, right? I mean, that is a bit of a giveaway, I feel.
A bitty of a giveaway, yeah.
Unfortunately, Bitty had other ideas and reacted noisily as Daisy untethered him. Him? Is the Bitty not... I feel like the gender of this horse is very
We had this
confused,
conversation
yeah.
before, I can't remember, yeah.
Bitty had other ideas and reacted noisily as Daisy untethered him, her, or them, alerting the gendarme to our presence, and instantly the yells of "arrêter" and "whistle" sounded out.
Shit, stupid fucking horse.
Then my heart almost stopped as a shot rang out. The officer at the front had drawn his revolver and fired a warning shot.
Shit.
Shit, you're a real wet smack, ain't you?
Grumbled Redvers in a language Ruth would have been proud of.
Lady, you take the nag. We'll meet you at the Bois de Boulogne. By the hippodrome. You'll fit in well. We'll go on.
Who's Ruth?
I nodded at her. She nodded back, blew me a kiss, and then hitched up her skirt. She leapt into the saddle with an incredibly graceful cat-like agility, and then, tearing the blindfolds from Bitty's eyes, she jeered him on and was away. A second shot was fired. We were lucky they were coming single file, or perhaps they would all have opened fire. Fortunately, they couldn't move around from behind each other. It was lucky they were a chain gang of police officers.
Yeah.
I turned to find Redvers taking off his trousers. Shouldn't we be going too? I asked him, with a mixture of nervousness and downright befuddlement at his sudden desire to disrobe. The gendarmes were practically upon us.
Oh no.
Redvers pulled off his peg leg at the knee, and I saw now that it was in fact a German MP-18 submachine gun.
I always wear iron in my trade. Come on then, give us a piggyback.
So, as I played Bitty to Redvers and carried him through the tight alleyways, he slung the gun over his shoulder and unleashed a rain of bullets.
Shit.
He could not see where he was firing, but then, I supposed, even if he had been facing in the right direction, with his eyesight, it would have made little difference. Presumably, he shot through people's windows, killed many of just an innocent householder, several police officers, a couple of dogs. It's a fucking machine gun, after all.
Yeah, he's murdering people. Yeah.
The sound of the submachine gun was incredibly loud and directly in my ears. But as I was holding on to Redver's 1.5 legs, I could not put my fingers in my ear holes. Redvers would snap out directions, left, right, whilst loading and loosing shots. Occasionally I heard a scream and assumed some poor police officer had been wounded, or worse, killed. Or worse, just some passing child had been murdered by this blind man shooting a submachine gun into a public street. But Redvers soon dispelled my concerns. Oh, here we go.
Rock salt.
Oh.
He spat in my ear.
Won't do him any permanent damage, but smarts like a bastard. Of course, kids are a bit more tender, so it might murder them, but, hopefully there aren't any. I don't know, can't see a fucking thing. No, he says, won't do him any permanent damage, but smarts like a bastard. Right here.
That's the kind of thing, when I watch a film, I'm always concerned about the way they're just like shooting at anything. And I'm like, well, I don't know, murder's kind of bad, isn't it?
Yeah, indiscriminate murder is quite bad. I mean, and it can, it's bad enough when you're like, okay, they're shooting people doing their jobs. I mean, whether they be police officers or security guards or hench people, they may not be doing a good job necessarily, but they are still people doing their jobs. Let's not just indiscriminately murder them. Let's wait until they murder someone and then murder them back.
Yeah.
All right, not that. Not that. Let's not just wait for murder and then do more murder. But let's
you
want to
arrest people
the
before
murder.
they've done the murder, don't you? That's right. You want to get some people in a bath.
Put them in mind prison, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just want to avoid murder where possible. And so being the person who instigates the murder, I feel, is not a good way of avoiding murder. So, like shooting hench people and guards and stuff and even police officers is a bad thing.
I think Redvers understands that, if he's going around shooting people, then he's probably going to go to prison for murder. But with this, maybe he can get off if they catch him.
He's like, I was just trying to share me salt with you.
Yeah.
I thought you were enjoying some chips. I thought you'd appreciate it.
Your chips look particularly boring.
Yeah.
Here you go. I shot your chips. I shot some salt on your chips, so they're nice now.
Thank you very much. That is very kind of you. You can go now. Oh, before you go, would you mind shooting my beef? My beef is not salty enough. Could you shoot it for me?
Of course I can. Bang, bang. Okay, bye.
I was getting tired. I did not know how long I would be able to keep this up. I was not an overly aerobic fellow. The most exercise I had ever done was as a 10-year-old, when I would regularly have to escape from Colonel Jip.
What?
I love these little moments, these little flourishes of this.
Yeah.
The most exercise I had ever, like while he's running away from the police with a man with 1.5 legs on his back who's shooting rocks out of a machine gun. This is, and then he's like, well, I remember the time I had to run away from Colonel Jip, a particularly deranged swan with a beak that had become accidentally sharp after he got his head stuck in an oil drum one summer. So much detail, it's wonderful. He's got a sharp beak because he got his head stuck in an oil drum, and the drum sharpened his beak like it's a pencil sharpener.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
But that's not all, because we're getting more information about swans. Water birds, of course, are known for their love of bread, though only through inculcation from their human masters. Wow. And so it was my bread route regularly required me to cycle past Blackbrook Reservoir, the nesting ground of Colonel Jip, his pen, Lady Jip, and their cygnets. What I learned on the subject of swans... Wonderful. The thing is that this is more interesting than the action scene. That's why this is how it works. Like, you want the action scene to keep the story going, but it's if that's all you've got, you're just reading. Oh, and I ran away from the police, and a man was on my back shooting. We've done that. We know that. We need to kind of cut to the end of that now. So this aside, while George Spooner gets hugely distracted while he's escaping police, starts thinking about swans, is exactly what you need, right?
Yeah, I agree.
What I learned on the subject of swans as a boy were these two things. One, that sharp beaks and bicycle tyres are not good bedfellows. And once Jip had got hold of my back wheel and shredded the tyre, forcing me to run with the bread basket in hand, I learned that 2 sharp beaks and a delicate, peachy 10-year-old posterior were an even worse marriage. Eventually, after weeks of this... It's not over yet. The story's not over. My buttocks read raw. I could take it no more, and so I was forced to spend a little of my wage on a cob for the cob. Right, now, here's the thing is, there are 2 footnotes. There is a footnote against cob, and there's another footnote against cob.
It's cob.
All right, so I'm gonna find out what these mean, because the sentence is, I could take it no more, and so I was forced to spend a little of my wage on a cob for the cob. All right, so the first cob, the footnote is, it says bread roll, and the second cob, the footnote says male swan.
Nice.
All right, so I spent a little of my wage on a bread roll for Captain Jip, or whatever his name was.
To
Colonel Jip?
distract him. Yeah, Colonel Jip.
Colonel Jip.
Yeah, couldn't just go cycle a different route then.
No, he's. I think it's worth it. It's a stupid plan, but it's worth it so that you could write the line, forced to spend a little of my wage on a cob for the cob. Which, but then realise that even though that is a wonderful line and it deserves to exist and be here and should stay, but also absolutely no one's going to get it. Not even me. It's not like I got it, and I know what a cob is. Right? I know what a cob is and a cob is.
Which cob? Okay, both cobs. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more familiar with the bread roll cob, obviously being from Coville. We very rarely had a cheese swan.
That's true.
That almost never happened.
We very rarely dipped our swans in daddy's swans.
You want a bacon swan for breakfast? No, I'll have a bacon cob, please. That's what I said. Oh, okay, fuck.
Oh, no.
So despite the fact that I'm familiar with both of these meanings, I did not get it. So it definitely needs the footnotes, and I think this is a good use of footnotes. You know, this is like footnotes. Like, we get information, they can be boring, they can be long, they can be annoying. Sometimes they're like extended jokes that don't really work. But when all it is bread roll and male swan, and that just tells you what the joke means, I like that. I like that use of footnotes.
Good.
So I was forced to spend a little of my wage on a cob for the cob. When I reached the reservoir, I would toss said cob into the water to provide distraction while I pedalled safely past. So he's got to buy a cob a day.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of bread for a swan. I mean, that swan's definitely going to explode, right?
Yeah, it's just a dead swan. Maybe that's the plan. He's just trying to kill the cob.
Yeah,
with
maybe.
the cob.
Maybe it's an exploding cob.
And then he got the title of the Coville Cob Killer, and no one was ever quite sure whether he killed people with cobs or he killed cobs, but it was both.
At the time, I could not imagine a worse pain than being bitten on the derriere, but now, with the gendarmes closing in, their revolvers at the ready, I feared I was about to discover how wrong I had been. Aside from being chased by a swan, I rarely engaged in exercise, and this sudden bout of physical activity was rapidly taking its toll, and I felt certain that my number would soon be up. Just as my legs were about to give way, we emerged into a bright courtyard filled with lines of washing hung out to dry. You know, I don't think many people would last very long, run in, like fast enough to escape the police, whilst carrying a man and a machine gun, which are also pretty heavy, right? And presumably even heavier back then.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not such a heavy man because so many parts of him are missing, I think.
Even so. I mean, it was like one hand, part of one of his leg.
And he's old. You know, old people weigh less, don't they?
Because they become hollow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, over there, yelled Redvers, and I fought my way through the clothing and ran straight into an ex-service armoured Austin. One was beginning to sense that in lieu of decoration after the Great War, Redvers had perhaps helped himself to a few sundry items.
Oh, right.
I quickly dumped Redvers in the passenger seat and, taking full advantage of my abundance of hands and feet, I took control of the wheel and pedals and shifted the thing straight into fourth gear, leaving the clutch on, causing the tyres to screech and smoke. So that's not how you drive.
Yeah, it is.
You can't start in fourth gear. That just stalls.
George can.
Several bullets hit the sides, but ricocheted harmlessly off. And then, as the motor caught up with my aspirations, I let go of the clutch, and we zoomed away, dragging a whole line of washing with us, which flapped in the wind behind us like a stream of flags from a very mixed-up Protean nation.
Yeah, no, you can totally, start in fourth gear. What are you on about?
That's what gears are for. Like you start in the low gears and move up to speed up. That's how cars work. Not it's like, oh, I want to start really fast, so I'll put it in fourth. That's not how that works at all. I want to start immediately moving at 50 miles an hour, so I'm going to put it in fourth.
Yeah. Well, he's also, hasn't he just kind of like, no, because it definitely happens in films and everything that like they've got the foot on the brake, right? So it gets really, really fast, and then they let go, and then it just shoots off. That happens. So that's what's
Yeah,
happening
that still
here.
wouldn't be in fourth gear though. Yeah, and also films aren't that reliable about how cars work either. That's
Yeah, well,
really,
neither
really unreal.
neither are books by Howard Long. I mean, less so, you might
Absolutely,
say.
yeah. Although I'm always super like hyper aware whenever we have this kind of conversation that there's like always a fucking exception to everything, and I'm just really hyper aware that someone right now is listening to this going, actually, in this particular situation there is a way to start in fourth gear, and they're about to write to me to tell me
Yeah.
that you are accidentally correct in some way.
Yeah, because maybe cars in the past worked differently.
Maybe you started in fourth and then moved up to first when you were going really fast.
Although more likely there was no such thing as fourth gear back then.
Although I was only managing 36 miles per hour, driving over cobbles in this metal giant, it felt much faster, and the slightest bump sent us flying up from our seats. I pulled onto a main road, and the drive became much smoother. I was not sure what the locals would make of this sudden invasion, and I wondered if they would think war had broken out again. But as it happened, most of them pointed and waved, and buoyed at our sudden celebrity, I waved back. I thought it was still the thing that they did. Like most of the locals pointed and waved and buoyed. I was like, what?
Oh yeah,
Buoyed by our sudden celebrity, I waved back, I suppose.
I like that. I like that he's like just like people are pointing and waving, so he's waving back.
Yeah. This next line is in red, but it's part of the prose, but it's been redified for some reason by you. So it says, Redvers, in the meantime, was busy loading the 2 Maxim machine guns which were mounted inside the gun turrets.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Best be ready for 'em.
He yelled over the roar of the engine.
Is it rock salt again, or is it real bullets this time?
Seems like he's going to have, rockets. He's going to explode whole houses.
Yeah.
Best be ready for 'em.
He yelled over the roar of the engine before clambering back into the seat beside me, where he began to reattach his MP18 at the knee. I hope he puts it on, shooty end down so he doesn't accidentally shoot himself in the bollocks while he's walking upstairs.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he probably does do. I mean, you just can't trust a safety catch in this instance, can you? And they probably didn't have safety catches, so he's definitely walking around shooting the floor occasionally.
Shooting himself upwards because of the recoil. Every now and again he jumps and you're like, what's up? Oh, I just shot the floor. Okay.
Yeah, every now and then he kind of there's a bang sound, he leaps slightly, and there's a load of salt on the floor, and people are like, what's going on?
I'm just put me chips down on the floor and put me salt on. Just shooting me dinner.
They got gun turrets. It sounds very much like Star Wars, the Millennium Falcon, when they're being pursued and they have to go into these specific gun places to stop murdering people.
Yeah.
This, in answer to your question, comes under expenses.
Seems reasonable. I do hope Daisy is all right.
Seems like she's got her head screwed on.
We're not all as detachable as you, Redvers, I quipped, pleased with myself at such a quick response.
My head don't come off.
No, I was just joshing.
Saw a bloke once, head came off.
Good Lord, really?
Was cleaning the undercarriage of one of the Newports. Pilot doesn't realise. Turns on the propeller, swish, clean off.
Oh, I see. I thought you meant it was detachable. He could put it back on again.
No, he was dead. You don't survive a thing like that. What do they teach you boys at Oxford, eh? Latin? What's the use in knowing Latin if you're just going to go around pulling your head off, thinking it screws back on? You can't very well be speaking Latin without an head, can you?
Quite true.
Take a left ear, unless you're a ghost.
Oh, no. Okay. What? Right, okay, yeah, no, I get it. It's not take a left here unless you're a ghost, because if you're a ghost, turn right and just drive through that wall. Right, that's what that means.
Yeah.
No, that's...
Okay, no, the take a left here is like an interjection that's not part of the story, and then he's carrying on with the story.
Okay.
He's like,
right,
you can't very well
yeah.
be speaking Latin without an head, can you? Take a left here. Unless you're a ghost. Seen a ghost carrying its own head talking Latin once. So now he's claiming to have seen ghosts talking Latin. All right. It was at this point I began to sense that Redvers may have a tendency for fibbing. Yes, we were correct. Did you indeed? Seen all manner of spirits I have. That I don't doubt. I mentally pictured him fully cut on whiskey and rum. Don't get all bloody sarcastic, kid. As a matter of fact, before the Great War, I worked as a ghost hunter.
What?
Also gremlins, right? I've seen fucking loads. I'm that fucking character, ain't I? Probably going to get racist in a minute.
Yeah.
No, before the Great War, I worked as a ghost hunter. No, come along, you're yanking my chain. I never yank chain, son. The shit gets everywhere. He wasn't wrong. Back in my mining days, we would all be chained to the potty wagon, and you would not want your chain yanking if you were doing your business. I've never heard of a ghost hunter. Reckon there's plenty of things you've never heard of. Don't make 'em not true. Ghost hunting's a niche business, I'll give you that. Not a lot of call for the service. Used to have to offer other services too. Work the whole spectrum of the termination industry. You know, vampires, lycanthropes, occasional demon.
Wow.
There's a lot of squawking going on outside my window. If you can hear squawking in the background, that is a bird. Poppycock, I said. I had never said it before that day, but over the course of the next few weeks, I was to say it again with increasing frequency, and it would transpire erroneously.
Ooh.
You seem strangely closed-minded for a man who's mixed up in witchcraft. I almost shunted the Delahaye in front of us. Is that how you pronounce that particular vehicle
Definitely.
name? No, okay.
Yeah, I almost shunted the Delahaye in front of us. But that's available on a T-shirt from manbycow.com right now.
Jumping Jehoshaphat! How in the name of all that's holy can you know that? I wasn't even sure I knew it, and therefore having it confirmed by a random stranger was a shock to the noggin. Come, Redvers, spill the proverbial beans. How can you know I'm involved with witchcraft? Three things. When you was a kip, I went and done a little research on you. This Amelia Hudson, what you didn't kill, and the other lady, Mary Darling, presumed not killed by you. They both recently joined the Modern Pagan Society here in Paris, which is, of course, just a mildly camouflaged name for this new breed of witches, the Wiccans. Second, I see you're wearing a charm to protect you against magic. Yeah, while you were asleep, while you had 4 hours sleep, I went on the internet. There's no other fucking way I'd have worked all that out so quickly, is there?
He's got contacts, hasn't he, Redvers?
Okay.
He knows people that know.
Yeah. Second, I see you're wearing a charm to protect you against magic. What? No, I'm not, am I? Where? That ring on your little finger. Amelia's ring. And last, but not least, that bloody horse.
Oh.
The horse? What about it? I knew there was something off about it. Ain't a horse. Whatever do you mean? I know a horse when I see one, and that's no horse. Now that would be a reveal, because it's a story, we haven't seen the horse. If he's like, that's a dog. It's not big enough to be a horse, got a waggy tail, keeps going woof, all right? That is not a horse, my friend.
Yeah. Mind you, that's one of those, because sometimes I read a book and I go, this is amazing, why haven't they made a film of it? But then you realise, they can't, because they would give away the spoiler immediately, because everyone could see it's a dog.
Yeah, like a book that I really enjoyed reading that you could never make a film out of was Rapunzel by Howard Long, because if you could see that those twins weren't identical because they were a boy and a girl, it doesn't quite work as well. I know a horse when I see one, and that's no horse. Then what the devil is it? A fat pony? An energetic ass? Not my place to presume. Could be any number of things. Oh, could be a changeling. A whatling? A changeling. You'll have to excuse my ignorance. The offspring of a troll. A troll? Or a fairy, elf, something mischievous at any rate. Legend tells that when a child was born, the troll would sneak in the middle of the night and replace the bairn with its own offspring.
Surely you'd notice.
The changeling would look almost exactly the same as the child it had replaced. Only in time would you notice the difference.
I see. And why would a troll swap its baby for someone else's?
Malice, envy. Who can say what goes through the mind of these otherworldly creatures? Maybe they eat them.
Interesting theory, but Bitty isn't a human child, is she? She isn't a human anything. She's a horse.
But is she?
Well, not if she's a changeling, but prior to being a changeling, she was a horse, yes. What would a troll want with a horse? At this point, Redvers began to fill his pipe with an apple-flavoured tobacco from his multi-pocketed pouch. Redvers had different tobaccos for different occasions, and this one, I was soon to learn, was a warning that a story was imminent. Uh-oh. I like books written by Howard Long. But you know what I like even more than books written by Howard Long? Books that are only 50% written by Howard Long. That's my favourite. And the other half is written by someone that Howard Long has known for an extremely long time. For example, me. And you know what I would love is if there was a book about a character called Gret Binchleaf that was called something like Master of Disguises, and that I could get the whole book, all 9 chapters, right now by signing up to Patreon for just $7. And if I was going to do that, I think what I would do is I would go to patreon.com/manbycow and I would get that whole book and other Gret Binchleaf books and the Secret Gang podcast and all kinds of other stuff. But most importantly, Master of Disguises, in which Gret Binchleaf is the entire police force of an airship called the Airship Otherworld, which has a spate of mysterious murders. But for now, let's get back and find out what's happening with George Spooner.
Once upon a time,
Said Redvers, lighting his pipe.
there lived a king.
And, biting hard on the bit, he began chugging hard on the lip until the tobacco was lit and the smoke was billowing from both ends. Oh, right, okay, so that's him lighting a cigarette, right? I was a bit confused because he's biting on the bit, chugging hard on the lip.
Pipe. It's his pipe. He said he was filling
Oh,
it
it's
with
a
it.
pipe.
You
Yes,
said it
that's
was
his pipe. Yes, I wasn't paying attention to myself
Yeah.
just moments before. So biting hard on the bit, you bang, chugging hard on the lip. Is that I've never really smoked a pipe or
Me neither.
know about smoking
Me
pipes.
neither.
Didn't your dad smoke a pipe? Is that true?
He had
Did
a
your
pipe.
dad smoke a pipe
He had
when
a
we were
pipe.
kids? Did he not smoke one?
I mean, maybe for like a week. I don't know.
Okay, that's just a false memory I've got in my head of your dad smoking a pipe then. Okay.
Yeah, no, maybe it's correct because I know that he had a pipe, which was, why would you have one unless he inherited it? But I think maybe he did, but not for very, very long.
Let me ask you an important question, right?
Yeah.
this will help us solve this mystery. Right? When you say he had a pipe, do you mean he had a pipe on the shelf,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or he had a pipe in his mouth?
Yeah, it was in his mouth. Yeah,
with smoke coming out of it all the time.
yeah, both ends billowing out.
Because if it was that second one, I think he smoked a pipe.
Right.
But if he just had a pipe in a cupboard or something, then he didn't.
He had a pipe up the side of the house, and water went through it from the toilet down to a drain.
Oh yeah, I've got one of them.
Smoker, that's bad for you.
Yeah, I know. I've got loads of pipes coming in my kitchen as well, and out of it.
Yeah.
Which is really useful because if they just come in, that's really bad. All right. So Redvers said, once upon a time there lived a king, and then started smoking.
Yeah.
And then it says, he coughed for about a minute. This was hardly the place for a cliffhanger, I felt, but it was not my story to tell. So I waited patiently for the next part as I drove the armoured car over Seine. Thank you for listening to this episode of The Worst Writer in the World. If you'd like more, then go to patreon.com/manbycow. Buy milk.
Worst writer in the world. Worst writer in the world. Worst writer